Hello future investors and welcome back to another weekly episode. I hope you're all doing well. Now, I wasn't really planning on filming today, but yeah, I feel a little bit under the weather and I finished work earlier and I thought, nah, do you know what? There's a topic I want to talk about. Now, today at work, I was just kind of chatting with some colleagues and I happened to kind of fall into a conversation with two people where I work, and the topic of conversation that I sort of was eavesdropping was precious metals. And one particular chap was talking to someone who I work directly with and saying, you know, should you invest in gold and silver, and why he's been doing it for 30 plus years. And oh, I've just noticed a little mark on the back of this packaging. That's very strange, never noticed that before. It's almost bubbled. Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird. It's like bubbled up. There's like air inside the capsule. It's really weird. I wonder what's caused the air. It's difficult for me to show you, but it's like air appeared inside this capsule. Anyway, so yeah, I was sort of eavesdropping this conversation at work, and they were saying about, one particular guy was saying, oh, you know, I've bought gold for like 30 years. And I was like, well, I need to get involved in this conversation because it's something I want to talk about. Now, obviously, nobody at my work knows I have future investments, nor do they know that I invest in precious metals. So I think when I started to involve myself in this conversation with, I would say, a fair amount of knowledge, they were like, you could see they were taken back a little bit by my interest, should I say, in regards to silver and gold. Now, one of the guys in the conversation who was clearly not knowledgeable about investing at all, because he was actually the one who started the conversation, he was kind of asking where should he invest and this sort of thing. So the reason I wanted to make this video today was, it's crazy how so many people don't know about the benefits of investing in tangible gold and silver. Now, this chap that I was working with was talking about, oh, I want to invest in stocks and shares and cryptocurrencies, but not once, not one single time did he mention investing in tangible gold and silver. So I thought, well, I've got to enlighten this chap a little bit, because he was clearly nervous about investing and obviously lacking any knowledge on it. He was kind of desperately trying to seek out any advice without indirectly asking for it. And I know that feeling because I've been there. So I told him about precious metals and gold and silver being tangible. And the other chap that was there, he kind of opened up and said, oh, I've been investing in it for 30 years. I've bought gold for like 30, 40 years. And I was thinking, wow, he's quite brave to be coming out with that in public, you know, saying that he's been buying tangible gold for 30, 40 years. But, you know, some people were more relaxed than others. And, yeah, I started telling this guy at work about the benefits to precious metals. You know, how it's tangible, how if you buy it cash, it's untraceable, it's untrackable. Nobody will know you've got it, you know, because you haven't purchased it through a debit system, through online. You know, that's of course, if you're buying privately. But even if you do buy online and through bullion dealers, it's still not, you know, trackable particularly. You know, it's in your precious metal stack, it's in your hand, no one can take it away from you, the government technically won't know about it. And you know, then I started getting onto the benefit of hedging against inflation, and I was trying to keep it simple because I didn't want to overload this chat with information, and I could see that I was slowly already starting to not overcomplicate it, but I could see I was probably starting to lose him a little bit. Not in terms of interest, he was really interested, but I could see I was losing him with his understanding of it. And where I started losing him, I think, was when I started talking about hedging against inflation. So I tried to make it as simple as possible by saying, you know, look, if you've got 20 grand in the bank, you hold that for 10, 20 years, it's going to lose out to inflation. So the buying power of what you can get for 20 grand now will be a lot smaller than what you can get for £20,000 in 10 or 20 years. And that's when he perked up and said, oh, I've actually got £20,000 in savings. And I said, well, you know, consider maybe investing in gold and silver. And I said, in the meantime, while you're hedging against inflation, if you make any profit on those investments, then it's a bonus. I mean, that's how I personally like to look at investing in tangible precious metals such as gold and silver. First and foremost, I'm putting my money into an asset that is hedging my wealth against inflation. And then on the side of that, I try to look at the profit margins and the increases and decreases as a side effect and maybe a bonus of investing in those precious metals. Now, of course, both are positives. You know, you're hedging against inflation, and like we know at the minute, gold prices are going very, very high. That means that you are actually making profit on your investment. So I was trying to enlighten this guy about that, but I could see in this moment that I'd kind of lost him. I don't think he was expecting to have an in-depth conversation with someone, let alone me, in regards to this. So I could see that he was like nodding and smiling, but I felt like I lost him a while ago. Now, to me, investing in precious metals seems extremely simple. I don't see it as complicated, and I think there's a lot more complicated other investment vehicles out there. You know, stocks and shares, for example. I find those a lot more complicated. But you know, it's like anything. It's only easy when you know how, isn't it? So yeah, the reason I was getting onto this video today, and I just felt like I wanted to talk about it, was because I'm quite amazed that so little people actually know about investing in precious metals. And I feel like if it was a wider known thing, there would be so many more people doing it. Now, I probably would have to say, in my personal experience, I do find that tangible gold and silver probably has a stigma with being maybe a slightly older version of or generation of people that would invest. You don't seem to find an awful lot of young people investing in tangible gold and silver. However, having said that, now with the day and age of YouTube and TikTok and all these social medias, people can kind of accidentally come across the content that they unknowingly want to see because of all of the algorithms. You know, they maybe once liked a video on investing, so then YouTube recommends stocks channels to them and they never watched them, so YouTube stops recommending those channels. But maybe one day they liked one of my videos, or one of 365 videos, or one of the Stack Collectors videos, and then that algorithm kept putting that content towards them, and they kept watching it. So then subconsciously, they've actually found the content that they unwillingly actually wanted to watch. So yeah, that's just my experience on investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. I love it. I really enjoy investing in gold and silver, tangible gold and silver. I think there's so many benefits. I think there's a lot more benefits than negatives when it comes to this. Of course, there's always risks when it comes to investing. And, you know, I'd always say, do your own research. And I'm not a financial advisor, so never take my advice as gospel. You know, make your own decisions wisely, because investing does have its own risks. However, I feel very comfortable to say that precious metals, tangible gold and silver, is one of the safest and less risky investments you can make. So yeah, I was just feeling out my views on the fact that precious metals aren't widely known, and that it kind of amazes me that such an easy and beneficial investment vehicle is hardly known about. And even when you do tell people about it, they don't really bother. You know, so each to their own. But in 20 years from now, 25 years, when hopefully I'll be retired and I've got a nice portfolio of precious metals and I can sell it all and have a nice retirement, I'll be glad I did. So I think if a lot of people will open their eyes up to that, they might be doing the same. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments below about this topic, whether you think precious metals and tangible gold and silver is not as known about as you might think. So thanks very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the very next episode. Bye bye, guys. To watch another episode on future investments, click the link now.